leaning towards either Bomberman or maybe the robot deck, or maybe I'll just play something with Daze and Force of Will. Those decks are always like pretty intuitive to play. Play some Enchantress. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Just play Lost in the Woods. That's an idea. That's a thought. Is there a list to what we're currently playing? Yeah, it should be in the Stream Decker app. It's the overlay for the stream. It does not Quadrian, it doesn't care about that at all. So the presence of Fatal Push is the main reason to Chalice before you go for the Mentor turn. If you get to get another token though, like the sooner you get to dump your hand, the better usually. You like Chalice for 0 against Delta Pass. Chalice for 0 beats my own deck. You never do that. One of the concerns against Death and Tax is that they would play a Flicker Wisp and like blink your Chalice. Well, rip Chalice, I suppose. Maybe I can just draw Salvagers. Another Mentor or something. Oh, they've got a Force of Will in hand. Oh, I have 2 draws. It is Force of Will and Pitched Force of Will. What do you think the odds are that they have a Daze in hand right now? After Force Pitch Force. And seeing my hand of City of Traders, Tundra, Lion's Eye Diamond. I think Force of Will is a much better card to keep. I'm just gonna play Tundra here rather than City of Traders. And if they get me, they get me. I'm gonna run out this LED because they could be playing him to Turok. Can I give a quick rundown of this deck and why it's good? Auriok Salvagers plus Lion's Eye Diamond gives you infinite mana. Okay, let's look at the deck list real quick. So this deck's got a lot of cool synergies going on. Salvagers can rebuy every artifact in the deck, which is amazing. So it's got 28 cards that it can potentially rebuy. Chalice if the opponent like countered it or killed it earlier. Walking Ballista for the eventual win. Walking Ballista is like kind of a decent card in Modern anyway, so having it as your win condition is awesome. And sometimes you just steal wins just by having some like Soul Lands and a Walking Ballista just beating down and murdering face. So the backup plan of the deck is murdering face, which is pretty good because people don't like having their faces murdered. And the plan A of the deck is pretty nice because it allows us to play Chalice of the Void, which typically Bomberman has not allowed you to do, and Cavern of Souls. So we're playing quad Cavern of Souls, protects all of our threats except for Ballista, of course. But once you have infinite mana, you can just rebuy Ballista as many times as you need. Counters are already bad. Anyway, that's about it. And then the Size and the Monastery Mentors also work well with all of these free artifacts, which all work well together. So, whole lot of synergies. Wasteland, sure. Oh, we're facing Control, huh? It's a Humans deck in Legacy? Kind of. You wouldn't call this deck a Humans deck, it would confuse people. And Humans do get played in Legacy sometimes. They're still played as like a Vile deck. We are setting Cavern of Souls on Human, but like our Humans are combo pieces. Salvagers, Mentor, Psy, Trinket Mage, they're all like things that are, you're just like dumping your hand and trying to kill your opponent. I see what you're saying, BST. Jokes! We got jokes! Oh, that's scary. Yeah, right now we're trying to draw like kind of specifically Auriok Salvagers as opposed to any of our other win cons or threats. Karn would be pretty good too though. Is Aereo a human? It is. I tested some versions with Aereo. It wasn't very good, but I did test it. They redrew Baleful Strix over Tarmogoyf, which is interesting. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, Ellipsis. Opponent's thinking here, which means there's probably like a shitty creature like a Ballista or something. Or just a Bauble. Otherwise, not much to think about. So this Liliana is just going to be able to uptick on the Monk. And they can do whatever they want with the Jace or whatever. But at least we're not Jace locked quite yet. Opponent's turn is probably going to involve Tarmogoyf Baleful Strix. Areo's a Moonfolk. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I did test it in the shell, and it wasn't quite good enough. Yeah, some decks just get like locked out by Chalice, and then like some cheese beats just gets there. It's not what's happening here. In this matchup, I'm going to need to find Salvagers, and I'm going to need to find it relatively soon. It's going to be hard with that Jace upticking. Could still happen. We've got enough cards that rebuy in the deck. Worth taking our draws. Do you see Ratchet Bomb in Legacy? Pretty rarely. What's my favorite card in Magic? I don't know if I have a favorite card. Well, they just bottomed. They just bottomed. We're drawing live. Oh, we didn't hit. Yeah, we needed Salvagers, like, kind of specifically. Not going to be doing much sideboarding here. I think it's literally just bringing in Cast Out. It's like a catch-all for random permanents. Sometimes people are like, Cast Out in Legacy, what? And you're like, all right, well, what would you play? And they're like, because the mana base is not really set up to play the 1/white vote and the exile. Not really set up to play that card. Cast Out can at least cycle. If you're digging for something specific, a little bit better than O-Ring. It's not VTC. It's not better. Well, the instant speed and the cycling ability on Cast Out make it better. Next, I have plenty of mana. Have I ever put Cast Out into playoff show and tell? I have once. And I very handily lost that game. Do I dislike Death and Taxes? No, I've played some Death and Taxes. Death and Taxes was one of the very first legacy decks I ever built in Paper. I built it and Merfolk because there was a lot of overlap between the two decks. All the expensive cards were the same at the time. It was like Vials and Wastelands, and anyway. Nihil Spellbomb's pretty good against me. It's an Astute bring in. So we already have Lion's Eye Diamond and Walking Ballista. Sometimes Trinket Mage finds Chalice. I kind of just want to draw a card. I kind of just want to find Salvagers. Our opponent beat Chalice last game without really breaking a sweat. What's this cantrip? Cantrip the Mage. What is this deck? I'm currently playing Bomberman. Yeah, it'd be a little bit different if I had the mana to like play the Chalice too. Well, this all sucks. Well, I guess I'll attack. I don't think Bomberman's a bad deck name. The win condition in the deck used to be Pyrite Spellbomb. Of all of the deck names, or older legacy and vintage deck names, and I think it was originally a vintage deck, not a legacy deck. That one I think is like one of the less egregious ones. So I'm snapcasting back Thoughtseize. Sure. Call it Walkman. People know what you mean when you say Bomberman, even if the deck is a lot different than those old things. Why is it not Spellbomb anymore? Because this is a Chalice of the Void deck, so you don't want your win condition to cost 1 in your Chalice deck. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are all terrible names, Petrosh. I agree there. Does it combo off then? What's the combo? The combo is Auriok Salvagers and Lion's Eye Diamond for infinite mana, as I've explained several times already. You could look at the deck list and try and figure it out yourself as well. That's you have the technology. Should be in the stream overlay. Another way to go about it. Full English Breakfast. Oh man, I played me some Full English Breakfast. That was the survival deck with that shapeshifter where you would like discard the card. So you would discard like Birds of Paradise to give it flying and attack, and then discard Phage or something. That fucking card. I believe I might be fucked. The 3/3 that you could change the power and toughness. No, it didn't swap the power and toughness. It gave +3, -3, right? The Helion, the shapeshift thing. So you would discard the 12/12. You'd discard Dreadnought, and you'd have a 12/12 Trampler, and then you would discard the thing where you could +3, -3 it or whatever, and just like one-shot them. Or maybe I'm misremembering it. Flowstone Helion gave +1, -1. Sure. You'd like stack all of the triggers, and then before they resolved, you would discard the Dreadnought maybe. I don't know. We can cast Emrakul. Oh, you mean with the LED mana? Doesn't really help us. Better play it next to refresh my memory. I'm not doing that. The awkward thing about this game is because the Nihil Spellbomb hit our Baubles and the Ballista, and Auriok Salvagers off the top doesn't even do it for me. Yeah, Hymn to Turok's a good reason to like run out your extra LEDs and such, but we have both Monastery Mentor and Sai in the deck, which are reasons to hold on to them. The City of Traders gives you its own reason to hold on to it. So I thought it was better to chill. That's gonna be good enough for me. Yeah, the Salvagers combo is like how you beat either like having a very fast opening with Mentor, or the Salvagers combo is like how you beat decks with just like straight up larger creatures than you. Sometimes you don't draw Salvagers though. So if your opponent's like deck is naturally strong against all your cheese win conditions, like Chalice and Mentor and all that stuff, you might have yourself a rough matchup. Is Mentor really good in that deck? In this deck? It's very good in this deck. We've only got 15 creatures. We have like fucking infinite free spells and chalices and stuff. And we can make it uncounterable. We can play it on turn 1. How's Mentor not good in this deck? It's also good with the Auriok Salvagers combo, because if you have Monastery Mentor down and then you play Auriok Salvagers, you don't actually need Ballista, because just looping Lion's Eye Diamond gives you an infinitely large Monastery Mentor. Similar to Sai. Sai also gives you like infinite tokens on that turn. And then you don't actually need to combo either with Monastery Mentor and Auriok Salvagers. They just work very, very well together, because you can just like spend your mana to rebuy Baubles, or like Lotus Petal, 2 mana, gives all of your tokens prowess 1, and it gets you another token. And the Lotus Petal rebuys a mana, so it's like 1 mana fire breathing for your squad, basically. Anyway, you can kill a lot of people very, very quickly that way. Well, they're not necessarily ready for it. Hey, Diosu. Thanks for the 500 bits there. Let's play your song request. Diosu says that this is for FPS. I like it. This is regarding the survival talk, right? Just experimenting Angry Chewy. So far, I think I prefer the mono white build, though 4 Karns might be like 1 too many. Karn is really good in the deck, though. Oh man, they had a blue floating at first. I think they were thinking about pondering. Well, that sucks. Red splash for Imperial. I mean, Trinket Mage does a lot of that shit. I think Trinket Mage is better than Imperial. Yeah, Imperial's power. You're thinking of the white recruiter doesn't find salvagers, right? Yeah, power 2 or less. So Imperial will find salvagers, the new white one does not.
Oh, shit, what else?
Hey, Crisp like Dylan, thanks for the resub, thanks for the 16 months. How would Thoughtcast work in this shell? Well, a lot of times you want to like sandbag your artifacts, and a lot of your lands don't actually tap for blue. So I think Thoughtcast would be more awkward than Bob. So my opponent's gonna slam Angler, but that's okay. Probably gonna Salvagers, just to get it down. We've got a Ballista in the graveyard. We've got an uncounterable Salvagers next turn. They might be hemming me. Nah, they're paying a lot of mana. This is Angler. Just need an LED at this point.
Another one.
They call me Cock. Dr. Cock. Why is this rooster wearing a medical uniform? What kind of hospital is this? Machette Experience. The chicken doctor's the only one you can afford in America. Oh my god. Still bankrupts you. Yeah, I think I actually prefer the mono white version, Colby. Synchronized sort of deal. We're about to get him here. That's okay. Delver here instead of him to truck. I guess they didn't have a second land, huh? Yeah, they're dazing me there, then they're not hemming me on their turn. And that could be real good for me. Don't you dare Thoughtseize me. No! 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 My salvagers!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Well, life is terrible. That's what I get for jamming into days, I suppose. Alright, Apa Yagiri says, I don't think I'm done yet. Hey, Mr. Teehee, thanks for the resub, thanks for the 14 months. Cracking LED makes him miss. Oh, with the Thoughtseize. I'll protect my salvagers. Only I discard my cards. No, that's about normal, me Cortez. I dream about me. This deck should play Lark to get back all the salvagers that die. You know, I actually don't hate. I've had this situation often enough. A single Lark could be okay. Also, what are we listening to? What if I don't want to catch them all? Yeah, you need to run a lot of mana sources to like make the explosiveness of the deck work. How long is this? There's another minute. We can run this for another minute. Man, what about Ancient Tomb and Death Shadow? Is there anything there? Probably not. Probably not. These fucking Death Shadows. The new Pokerap is the truth with 800. Oh, they just hit Surgical. That's good enough for me. Surgical will do her. Like no one ever what? Like no one ever what? I guess we'll never know. All right, El Panda's got a song request here. Oh, this is only 2.5 minutes. I'm into it. I'm down. What's the idea behind Cast Out? Sometimes you want to remove spells. Cards like Null Rod and shit. Like random creatures or walkers. Anime was a mistake. Hopefully our Supreme Overlord Trump will make it illegal soon. Oh, this hand is not great. I'm into it. Data plan? That's not a thing. Straight up toilet. I think Shirt is still my favorite Pokemon. Worst player says, long live Weeb Nation. Well, Rip Mentor. How is this not on my list of anime themes? Oh, I think it is actually. Just a different version. This is some quality weeb shit. Yeah. We only smoke the most high quality weeb in this here stream. They said to put your hands up. It's not just me, right? You'd like to see the anime playlist? I'm gonna play some of it. I'm gonna let the song finish. I almost just want to like activate these ballistas rather than play the salvagers. Almost. Hey, Celine Dijon. Here's 100 bits there. Is there a chance of Momir tonight at the end of the stream? If it fits conveniently, like if I have time for like an extra match or something. Usually I end the stream around 2 in the morning. Oh, this is like literally the same song. Hey Tannen, how's it going? Yeah, I was actually kind of hoping that I would draw like either a land or, well, LED would be the best, of course. LED would force them to chomp. Hey, Graveyard Shenanigans, thanks for the sub there. Yeah, I think this game's gonna end up being close. We'll see. Looks like we're getting double dazed here. Awkward. Oh shit, they said 1. Okay. They did not shock themselves. Might imply they're worried about getting just fucking deaded. Sure. Not actually bad hits here. So you notice that we don't have an LED to combo with, but the combination of Salvagers and Mentor is actually like really nice. Boom, boom, boom. Why do you recognize this? Probably because you either you watch this stream or you're familiar with Death Note. I didn't actually think about whether I wanted to attack this turn. I could attack with just Monastery Mentor and Monk Token. If I attack with everybody, they put Death Shadow in front of Salvagers and Death Shadow in front of Mentor. They take 7, go down to 2. It's not bad. just Monk or everybody. I kind of like that. If I serve with just Monk, I think they trade, they like block with 2 Death Shadows. That's like not bad for me. If I attack with everyone, I die. Well, fortunately, these 5 monks have Summoning Sickness. Fortunately, Christ. If we send Mentor, they can take the same damage and put the Death Shadow in front of Mentor, and the Death Shadow would live. We'd just be throwing the Mentor away. So is it either attack with everybody or just the Monk? I agree with that line. Attacking with everybody does not force them to chump with both shadows, right? Oh, that's a good Dread of Night. It's a real good Dread of Night. Fair enough. The last card needs to be pretty fucking good though, right? FPS knew the future. Well, I guess we're all just idiots, FPS. You got us. Yeah, I'm gonna crack Bobble before blocks, but not until then, I don't think. The last card's Force of Will. That's not gonna do her. Can I post the anime playlist? Yeah, not right now, but later. Caleb, stop, you fool! You're gonna make his Death Shadows 13/13s. Hey, El Panda, thanks for the 420 bits there. Has the blue been better than mono white? We haven't really, I don't know. I tried a version with like 3-side, 2 Trinket Mages, and I was missing the Karns, and now I'm playing the Karns, and I hate them again. It's all terrible. Everything is terrible. We just have like 5 free slots, and everything I put in them. How about this hand? Yeah, this hand's juicy. Run an Antiquities War for the memes. We could do that. The issue with Antiquities War is a lot of our stuff we want to like cantrip off of, a lot of our random artifacts. But I've definitely ended some games with like a pile of LEDs in play and Lotus Petals and stuff that I didn't need. Is that real life trauma? That's fucking terrible. 855 shares on Facebook. Yeah, I don't have any words. People want to check out the GoFundMe. It already got posted once, but there it is again. Yeah, I've had family members die before, but nothing that close. I literally don't have any words. I was just gifted a chai tea and some McDonald's. In case anyone was wondering why I was talking to someone off screen. Yeah, that's terrible trauma, CBW. That's fucking terrible. I can tweet this out. Something. Hey, Schmitty, thanks for gifting a sub to Trauma. What are they tutored for? Ballista? Or, I'm sorry, Batterskull. We could just Ballista kill the Stoneforge Mystic. I think I want to Mentor, though. Got a couple more song requests in the queue. Here's something from Salus34. I think I'm just going to Ballista the Stoneforge Mystic. It's awkward because Ballista is one of our better cards versus their, like, Thalias and stuff. We'll just draw it on some other turn. We'll just draw another Ballista or Salvadors or something. I'm going to get at these fries while they're still hot. Nice Nyxora. Yeah, my night's been pretty solid. Getting my Legacy testing on. Figuring out what I want to play in the Legacy Premier League. Chowing down on fries, as you do. I just need a Salvadors, right? We'll be good to go. The Ballista would be pretty sweet too. Play Elves. We played Elves earlier. We went 3-2 with it. We did not, in fact, make Julian look bad. Why we play second Cavern over second Ancient Tomb? Because I didn't want to lose 2 life when I played my Mentor. They can't Flicker Wisp, blink our Monk, and pay the mana to equip a sword. So just leaving 1 Monk back is fine, I think. The Swords of Plowshares is bricked by Chalice of the Void, so might as well get in there. You know what the kids love today? Rapping in sacks. That sounds about right. Snow-covered plains. Yeah, they run a mix of snow-covered plains and plains for predict. Like if their opponent's on miracles, then it's just better. Nice. This will just do it, right? Yeah, they're taking it this turn. Yeah, auto yielding your Monk triggers is really important with this deck. Is that a main reason to run a niche mix that sounds niche? It's a little niche, but I mean, miracles isn't like some obscure deck, and they're playing predict without like knowing the top card of your library, so wanting to target the opponent is also not that crazy. And there's no reason not to split them, so why wouldn't you, right? It's probably the worst matchup for Karn. Steel Cleansing is pretty good. I really like Trinket Mage a lot here because it can go get Ballista. I kind of hate Psy because Psy just gets bounced by Caracas. Makes it like real awkward. I'm gonna cut some of my Chalices. It was really good that last game, but that doesn't mean it's always gonna be good. It can be a liability sometimes against Flicker Wisp. Something like this. Wow, do you keep this? Do you keep this shit? I don't. Not quite. If we had a white producing land, I'd probably keep that last hand. Sorry about the delay, folks. That Wasteland is gonna make me eat my own. Well, you get the idea. What has YouTube autoplay been doing to us? Let's see. I Attack You's got a song request here. Let's run it. Let's run it. I wonder if I should be playing the 2-mana Needle that everybody plays. Probably, huh? Yeah, Sorcerer's Spyglass. Be pretty good versus like the double Vial opener, and could also like name Wasteland. You're asking if I have an answer to Null Rod when I've like literally got a disenchant effect in my hand. Ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-ba-doo, ba-doo, boom. Just making sure they had enough gas to finish me off there. Seal of Cleansing versus Fragmentize. Yep, it's a Chalice deck. It's also a Mentor deck, which is why I'm playing Seal of Cleansing over Disenchant. Kind of interesting. I tested Paradoxical Outcome. It wasn't very good. Doesn't really help the deck with its rougher draws. This is probably much worse than just going for this turn to draw my deck with Salvagers. It's so much fun, though. It's so much fun. If we'd led on Tundra instead, and they just like Wastelanded us, I would have felt real silly, right? Did I test Spell Bombs in my Chalice deck? I did not. So in this situation, Disenchant, not nearly as good as Seal of Cleansing. Well, I didn't have a Swords or anything. Talia's pretty brutal. Yeah, we gone for the turn 2 Salvager win. Like, we would have, like, drawn our whole deck. Unless they had Surgical. Surgical would have stopped it. It's like a possibility. Note that if we had another Soul Land off the top to play Salvagers and loop with LED, it won't generate mana because of the Thalian play. It will generate Infinite Storm for the Mentor and Monk tokens. So it'd still be a very, very good draw. So we did board in a few Swords to Plowshares to get it Sanctum Prelate. And we can make a Ballista on 4 to clear Prelate. I see what you're getting at, Panama Camel. Isn't Prelate just on time, though? Kind of a silly name. It's not late at all. Use Prelate were templated like Chalice. Oh, so they could jam cards into Mentor and still trigger it. Yeah, that'd be better here, huh? Soul Land would still be good. It'd still be good to get these Salvagers down. A 2/4 is pretty large against Death and Taxes. Larger than most of their threat base. Be interesting to see if they hit Mentor. Oh, they did hit Mentor. Okay. Perfect. The perfect draw. Yeah, our number of turns is dwindling here. Especially with the port down. Rest in Peace is also good against us. Yeah, I should have just gone for the Salvagers line. Oh well. I guess Seal can kill Rest in Peace. I'll give it another turn or two. Hit Swords to Plowshares specifically for this Prelate. Can I not pay for Salvagers with LED? I certainly cannot. Nor would I really want to. Redundant Rip. I think that's just going to close the gate in terms of possible outs for me. What game is this? This is game 3, I believe. Well, probably should have blocked. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, Death and Taxes is actually very winnable thanks to cards like Walking Ballista that can just like chew through like quite a few hate bears. And we won the first game by like using Ballista, an early Ballista to clear through a Stoneforge Mystic. I think that game 3 would have been ours had I gone for the turn 2 Salvagers on the play instead of the turn 1 Mentor, make a few tokens. It was fun at the time, but one of those lines is more likely to win the game. We wouldn't have done it. We wouldn't have killed our opponent with our infinite mana, but we would have looped Urza's Bauble and drawn like 15 cards, which would have been better. Pretty hard to lose after you draw 15 cards, even if they do play like a Rest in Peace or something. They kind of punked me in game 2. Yeah, I mean that's kind of legacy, right? Sometimes you just lose to a couple of Wastelands, and then like I said, I think we did have a winning line in game 3. So would have had a few infinite power tokens? No. In order to play Auriok Salvagers on turn 2, I would have had to save my Lotus Petal. I wouldn't have a Mentor in play, so that's why I had to make the decision of whether to go Mentor double token cantrip on turn 1 and hope to draw into more cantrips to keep growing the Mentor, or like potentially play Salvagers naturally. Obviously comboing with Salvagers is a lot better with a Mentor in play, which is why I leaned that way, thinking that I might just like cantrip into some lands anyway. But the way that the game played out, it would have been much better to have just gone like Tundra Go, and then turn 2 City of Traders, Lotus Petal, Salvagers, LED, rebuy Bauble like 15 times or whatever. This is interesting. I'm gonna keep it. Our mulligans aren't that good. The mana here is really nice. I do think Ballista's a card. It'll depend on the matchup, whether or not Ballista's like a real card or not. Note that this Chalice will actually hit fewer things than a Chalice on 1 would hit, but they already got their Exploration down. I think it's worth running out. Turns off Punishing Fires and Loam. They kind of need to kill me with a 20/20 now, which is not impossible. I should have activated this turn, because I can't actually play another Ballista or anything. Next turn I'll start the slow grow. Yeah, I missed a Ballista point there. Could end up being really important. Be another point of damage on them and another tick on the Ballista. Well, that's probably gonna be game winning. I mean, some people think this game's hard. I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, that was why I didn't concede. We were drawing to the 1 of Crocus. I mean, so I can like make tokens to block. I've beaten lands that way before. But yeah, if they just passed, then Crocus would not have been an out, because we would have to play the Crocus and then they would just Wasteland it. But they were worried about us comboing, so they Wastelanded the Ancient Tomb instead. The Scythopters are like kind of good against Merilage. They're pretty bad. Scythe itself is pretty bad versus opposing Crocuses. I don't know if I want 3 crypts, but I've got them. Solaria West. No, Landscaping and Play Tapped is pretty miserable in our Chalice deck. Did I design this deck? Not like the archetype or anything. I've made tweaks to it. This was originally a Japanese list. I don't remember the designer's name because I'm fucking terrible. I could probably dig it up though. I believe it is Tanaka Mikito is the designer of the original new type of Bomberman list with Chalice and such. And he's brewed a few different builds. Like for example, this is his newest list where he's playing Impulse, main deck Sorcerer's Spyglass, which I was talking about, Antiquities Wars, kind of interesting. Top 8 at a 94 player event. Sideboarding Luan. Luan was the tech man back in the day against Merfolk. Maybe he likes it against Delver too. I mean, it does balance True Name Nemesis, right? It's kind of cute. Maybe I should test out that fucking version. Alright, what was I doing here? Mox Opal, not a bad draw. It's going to let us Chalice on 1 without having to crack the Lotus Petal, which is what I thought I was going to have to do. Do I have a favorite or preferred Bomberman shell? Yeah, you're looking at it. Will of the Wand, Cephalid Empress. 3 and a blue, 2 and a 3. When it enters the battlefield, return all blue creatures your opponents control to their owner's hands, and then they can't play blue creature spells. So it's very good against merfolk, for obvious reasons. Opponent does have a Life from the Loam in hand. To crack this Horizon Canopy or nah? I'm gonna say nah for now. I don't want to crack Crypt here and have them just like cycle Tranquil Thicket in the response. I can respond to that one though. They just songed my Chalice on one. I wonder what they're gambling for. They only have 3 cards in hand. Pretty sure I cracked this Horizon Canopy. I don't know if I want a Chalice on 2. I might want a Chalice on 1. We have this Tormund script in play, so like their the Loams already aren't very good. And they just burnt a card answering a Chalice on 1. Would Search for Azcanta be good if it flipped into Library of Alexandria? Probably not, actually. I'm glad they fired off the Crossing Grip early, because I was about to add 2 counters to that Ballista. Why am I playing Eggs out? Because I could draw a Mentor or Sai. Well, I just said why. So I was planning on activating Ballista twice this turn, because I imagined the game was wrapping up soon. Yeah, imagine they gambled with a hand that had like multiple Thespian stages, and they just like didn't discard the Dark Depths when they're 1 and 3 or whatever. Like Bob and Bomberman. I played Bob for a while. I think I like Karn a little bit better. Sometimes you just Karn and murder people. I definitely like having at least 1 plains. I'm not sure whether to grab a Chalice or an LED or just another Bauble. It's tough. They have an Exploration trapped in their hand from our turn 1 Chalice. And Chalice on 1 actually hits a decent amount of lands. Hopefully my opponent realizes just how dead they are. Why do we have to make these monks? There's a reason you auto-yield those fucking things. It's like probably enough, right? Yeah, so whatever life they had, if they have less than 4 blockers on this turn, we can just kill them with that loop. It doesn't actually come up that often, at least not with a full combo with LED or whatever. It's kind of sweet that it happened. So opponent's very resilient to Chalice on 1. So we're gonna cut our Chalices here. We, however, are not very resilient to Chalice on 0. So we're gonna add some seals. A miserable fucking hand. You need to rewatch Bebop? Everyone needs to rewatch Bebop. Hell yeah, cool. I was worried there for a second. Blocking with the Walking Ballista means I like die in like a less of a turn or whatever. Like I have a little bit more time to draw, but it means I could have lost to Surgical here, whereas like I don't currently lose to Surgical. And even now I could beat Surgical by activating Salvagers because I have that much mana left over. So if you have extra mana like that, cards like Force of Will or like single shot discard spells are pretty beatable. Force of Will in particular comes up a decent amount because you'll just like run out an LED and they'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever, resolves. And then you're like Cavern, Name Human, Oriac Salvagers, and they're just staring at their Force of Will like, you know, like crack LED, rebuy LED, and they're like, Force of Will, your LED, and you're like, all right, pay 2 more mana, rebuy LED, and they're like, shit certainly comes up. So this Ballista needs to be set to 14, which means 28 mana. It's like, I don't know, about halfway maybe, maybe not. I want to have enough mana in my pool where we can actually like beat other things too. I'm just gonna let the Cowboy Bebop keep going. It's kind of hard to manage song requests as well. I'm clicking through this stuff. So how are you folks doing? Is this combo a real deal? I don't know, I think it's pretty real. Last season of the Premier League, it got me to the finals. This year it got me into the winner's bracket. We have an option to switch decks, and I'm kind of dicking around trying to figure out if I want to keep playing this or if I want to switch it up. There's a lot of things I like about it. I like that you have game against basically everybody. Even your bad matchups, you can still like cheese people with Chalice and stuff. And being able to min deck 4 Ballista in a deck in a format where you're like playing a bunch of Ancient Tombs and stuff in your deck is also a really nice feeling. Is it fewer clicks to crack both? Nope. No matter how many LEDs you're cracking, it's the same number of clicks for the same amount of mana. That is how that works. We're pretty close to done though. Combo's easier to execute in paper. Yeah, I think I'm like the only crazy person who tries to play it on Moto. Most people concede when you like have the win handy or whatever, but at least our opponent's F6. I don't know. I mean, they showed me Fairy Macabre, so like I'm gonna play around it, right? Opponent's away, probably pooping. Yeah, maybe. And then once you have it in play, like your opponent's not dead yet. You still have to like 3 clicks per ping. It's a click intensive deck. It's a little click intensive. It's not the prettiest girl on the block. That's fine. People will have to do this shit with Devoted Druid in Modern, so I don't feel that bad. Do I think it's better or worse than KCI in Legacy? It's much better than in Legacy. I haven't tried to play KCI in Legacy though. My poor wrist. My wrists are fine. Let's open our victory chest. Last time we went 3-2 as well, and that was a sadness chest. But that's because we lost the last round. This time we won the last round to be 3-2, which makes it a victory chest. It's very different. Very different. Hey, hey, hey. Look at that. We got $2 and a Miri's Guile. Chests have not been bad tonight. Not been bad at all. The leagues, the Super Leagues and the Premier League and everything, everyone sets their game time to 40 minutes in case there's like technical things. Oh, I remember this track. Oh, you're good, Misha. I think I know what my opponent's up to. Yes, we are indeed facing Duretti Spaghetti. How's Walking Ballista so good? I think I just pass here, actually. If the Painter Servant was on blue, I think I would cash in the Ballista to kill it. So they can't go like Reb the Ballista and force me to ping. But I think I know the opponent's deck pretty well. And I think saving the Ballista around like either forces them to activate the Grindstone or lets me kill them a turn sooner. Maybe both. Oh yeah, Sudden Shock would be brutal, huh? What a bizarre song. This song is weird. I want this one. What else do I want? Oh, definitely want these. What if playing a fucking Goblin Welder on top of a Painter Servant that we just saw? Pretty good. I'm not sure about Ratchet Bomb. Seems pretty ratchet. All right, we've made it. We made it to the One Punch Man opening. Oh, it's gonna be louder than this. They get stuff out of the yard, Demon Coltrane with Goblin Welder. I think we have enough ways of controlling Welder though with like Ballista and Warping Whale that I probably don't want Ratchet Bomb. Can I update the Stream Decker? Well, I'm only playing one match with this deck, so it's probably not worth it. And then I'll enter a league with some other deck. Probably don't need a Redundant Chalice. I think Attack on Titan had like 1 or 2 good episodes, but I'm gonna still keep watching it. Those episodes were really good. We keep chasing that dragon. Hey, Calamity Stream, thanks for the 420 bits there. Hell yeah. Season 3's been good. Sweet. It's good to hear. Got me. Apparently I should have kept the Redundant Chalice on top, huh? Can't let the opponent untap with Welder because they'll start like turning my other shit into empty chalices and stuff. I missed a message about my business email up a bit. Did I? Was it an important message? It'll be obvious when I have it. DC Sports 8, I'll like add information and stuff. The stuff's finalized, but like I'm not gonna announce anything until like people can actually go check it out and stuff. Until I have the links and everything in place. Should be in the next couple of days. Do I have an email or anything? People already asked me that. It's CalebDMTG@hotmail.com. You can also tweet at me, Facebook me. You can do literally anything. You'll get a hold of me. And I'm not a hard man to get a hold of. Yeah, we're mana short here. We can play Ballista on 2, and then there's an LED that you can crack towards it, but it's short. Towards killing the Painter Servant. Am I a hard man in general? No, I'm a big softie. Someone told me that once. I was a lot younger, but they said that they were scared of me when they first met me, and then once they got to know me, they thought I was just like a big old teddy bear. Just the softest fucking plush piece of shit. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this, but I'm gonna try it out. We're experimenting here, playing a 2-man. This doesn't directly answer the Welder, but they can no longer cast Faithless Looting, so it's still pretty good. The next turn out, Walking Ballista can clear it. Note that if the opponent Blood Moon's here, the Ancient Dens will still be artifact lands. Are they needling Ballista? That's so bad for me. Yeah, there's only like 2 Abrades in the list though, Tardy Ghost Bear. It wasn't likely. It did happen. It did technically happen. I'll admit to that part. Alright, Needle, I knew that. Oh yeah, Wet Lettuce. For a brief period of time in Extended, people played Goblin Welder in like Reanimator shells. The deck was called Teen Titans for some reason. It wasn't a very good name. For some reason seemed redundant. Anyway, during that same extended season, there was people playing Ravager Affinity. So you just like go crazy with your Goblin Welder on your opponent's Arcbound Ravagers. So the opponent's welding themselves or grindstoning themselves to try and hit one of their reanimation targets for Goblin Welder because they know this is going to be one of their later turns to hit. They found Needle. Damn it. Damn it. Was LED crack a line there? It was not. It's mostly due to the Chalice on 0. But anyway, I expect the opponent to weld out probably Grindstone for their second Needle to name Engineered Explosives. Oh shit, they just let that resolve. That's snap crack this thing, right? Yeah, I think this Antiquities War is just gonna win next turn. They're playing one of my decks, Nolly. Fan of the stream, just like helping me give this deck a spin. They might have even considered getting back Needle, but didn't want to like sack Grindstone. Just want to like dick with me more. Who knows? Does seem hard for them to win at that point though. Anyway, thanks to them for letting me get a match in.